You're listening to Cards to the Moon, a podcast about trading cards from both a collector and investor perspective. We hope you'll stick around for the ride as we take a deep dive into the state of the hobby, share some hot takes, hopefully some useful advice, and fun stories along the way. Hey guys, welcome back to Cards to the Moon. This is episode 116. My name is Clark from 5Card Guys on Instagram and 5cardguys.com. With me co-hosting, as usual, is John, whose handle on Instagram is TradeYouAtRecess. And once again, filling in for Hyung, who's away this week on business, is our good friend Will. Welcome back, Will.
Hello. Glad to be back.
Always glad to have you as part of our show. All right, let's get right into it. Off the top, we talked about this last week, but there's been a couple of updates about the 2023 Topps Series 1 baseball release. Blowout Cards has issued a bounty of $250,000 US for the first collector to complete the set of 330 golden mirror image variation cards found in this year's Topps Series 1. So for those who didn't hear, what's new this year is that each card in the set has a short printed golden mirror image variation card. And Blowout Cards actually said they will also offer $1 million for the complete set of 990 cards of the Topps golden mirror image variation cards that are graded in PSA 10 condition. So I guess that includes Topps Series 1, 2, and Update later on. Anyway, what do you guys think about all of this? And I don't know if you heard this already, but
first time hearing it.
It's a little crazy.
That's wild. Who's Blowout Cards again?
Aren't they part of the forum? That
it's a card shop?
I'm pretty sure they're a retailer.
Yeah,
they're a retailer, right?
Retailer?
Right. And then I guess they created that forum.
That's I think wild. So. But yeah, $250K, yeah,
right,
for the complete set. I mean, did you see I guess there are breakers in Minnesota that are just breaking cases after case. Like there's a picture of them out there on Twitter. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I guess they're going
just
for
like
it.
Piles and piles of wrappers.
It's literally Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Totally.
That's what we're watching.
Totally. Man.
The crazy thing is, like, when you watch it, like, they looked tired. Like, it's just like, it's such a grind. There's no joy.
So what?
I guess it would be the same with us, you know?
Right. So is there a difference between SSP and a golden mirror image? What is a golden mirror image?
I think they're the same.
So the SSP is golden mirror image.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So will that Jays card you got, that's a golden mirror image card.
Oh yeah, you wanna share that? You opened the Topps Series 1 already.
Yeah, so I was so, like, you know me, I love ripping. I don't love ripping as much as Hyung loves ripping. Or maybe I just don't have as much disposable income as Hyung does to rip. But the Topps Series 1, it looked so fun to rip. And I was like, oh, those SSPs look pretty cool. You know, I'd love to get, like, the rookie class is pretty good. I'd love to hit something. And so I bought a hobby box. And I ripped it open. And usually my luck with hobby boxes is pretty brutal. But I got a... what's the subset? I think it's like 1988. No, 1983.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever the subset is. I got Jonathan Aranda as a Tampa Bay player. I don't know who he is, and I even Googled him, and nobody really knows who he is. But I got a orange, like out of 25 or something auto. So I never hit autos. Nice.
That's sweet.
But then the really cool thing. Yeah, the really cool thing is I hit a Blue Jays SSP, like the golden mirror variation, and it's Bo and Vladdy jumping in the air. And I just, like, when I saw it, I was like, oh, like, I don't even know how much it's worth, but it's so sweet to have that card. So that's gonna be in the PC forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so sentimental.
Hit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Being from Toronto.
It looks really nice. And then I sent you guys the picture, and what's really cool is the SSPs, they say SSP on the back. The Topps logo on the front has like a gold foil on it. So it's like very noticeable that it is that it is a
That's
SSP.
cool.
Gotcha.
Yeah, everyone's saying that's like such a great improvement to like from past sets, right?
100%.
Like because before you had to look at the small print code
Yeah.
at the very bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so frustrating.
It was brutal. Like I'm getting old, so like I actually have reading glasses now.
Oh, no.
So I had to put that on.
No.
And then I had to put that on, and I still couldn't see it well because it's so small. And then you know what I do is like I get my phone and I have to like use the zoom feature on my camera to look at it.
No way.
So I'm like,
Oh,
have my
no.
phone. I'm just going through my stack just to see if any of them are short printed, and yeah. So this is way better, way better.
You
But
know,
in
there's,
recent years, at least they flip it backwards, no? So you at least know it's a hit. I think, no? If it's an SP or
flip it
SSP,
backwards.
I think it comes flipped backwards. So that at the minimum, as you're like peeling through the cards, you can tell that this is something special.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I don't
That's the case.
know. Sometimes cards are like all like they're upside down. I feel like they're reversed. Like I remember ripping so much 2020 like when I got back into the hobby.
Oh,
and
me
just,
too.
like, and I didn't even know there were SSPs and SSSPs. So it's like I have like stacks, like boxes, and I'm just like I have to go back through them to try and find some image variation SSP. Like it's crazy because I know there's a Josh Donaldson like super short print that's it's him batting, and then in the background in the stands there's an image of Josh Donaldson looking at himself.
What?
It's so hard to see. Yeah. It's so hard to see it. And it's just like you really have to know what you're looking
wild.
for. So like, most people in the hobby, they're just ripping cards. They don't know, like there's nothing signifying that it's special.
Right.
So you could have just like that card could just be gone. Like it's just it's in
for
someone's
sure.
box. They have no idea it has any value, but at least these ones, it says SSP, it's gold, and so I really like that move that they made. And also just going like a different image. It just makes it look like it's pretty good. I've enjoyed ripping. Oh yeah, I also ripped 2 more hobby boxes after.
Any hits?
No, I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
Was the hit that you got, the Blue Jays SSP hit, was that from your first box?
Yeah,
or
it was the
from
first.
your
That's
lap?
the problem. That's
I
always the
see.
problem. If I hit
The
well
casino
at the
effect.
beginning, yeah.
Yeah.
And
You
so I
always
need to get
quit
punished
while
a
you're
little
ahead.
bit. Like I need to get hammered for me to be like, oh yeah, I need to stop. Yeah. No, I don't.
Oh,
I
man.
quit when I break even or lose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't go to a casino. That's not how you come out on top. Even if you win.
Yeah, that's exactly like early on in
no,
2020. I was ripping Topps paper as well. Like I think I bought like 10 blaster boxes, and the first one I opened, I got the Luis Robert rookie rainbow foil, which out of paper blaster, it's a pretty good hit. I was like, whoa, this is like the best hit I've ever had. And I'm like, I should probably quit while I'm ahead. And back then, Walmart had a return policy, so I could have taken all 9 of those boxes and taken them back. Yeah, you give me like an extra day to sit on those boxes, and next thing I know, I ripped all 9. And like Will, I learned a painful lesson.
Yeah, that's signs of an addict for sure. Anyway, we agree that this new SSP design at the back, very helpful. The only time I got an SSP from a blaster box was like it was Alex Bregman, and I could have easily thrown it away, if I didn't know that SSPs exist in sets like this, right? So, and then it happened to be like $120. I sold it for $120, and it was a $30 blaster.
Oh,
that
wow.
saved my rip. Usually I get nothing from blasters, obviously, but yeah, SSPs can be worth something. This is what makes it kind of interesting this year, because every card in the set has a image variation,
Right?
And some of the I don't want to say no names, but even the common cards, there's some value in these.
Well, there
Golden Mirror
there is
image
now.
variations.
Holy jeez.
Yeah, with the bounty.
Yeah. I just saw
you got the one comment that's so hard to get.
Yeah. So I don't get this bounty. Like, are they secretly sponsored by Topps? Because wouldn't they just buy up all of the SSPs that appear on eBay rather than giving somebody $250,000? Something doesn't add up to me.
I guess it adds up. No, well, I guess it adds. It's 330 cards, so there's some big hits there, right? And you know what?
Yeah, true.
That's going to be a part of another segment later on in the show, so let's leave it at that. But
Right.
But yeah, it could add up. So we'll see. And I guess it's fun ripping. It's kind of a promotional thing too for them.
I mean, yeah, good on them. If they're going to hold to their word on this, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I think that's good. Let's move on to hobby headlines. For this segment, I got this idea from Will, actually, because just last week he messaged our sports card chat group and issued a hobby hot take, which I'll get him to share in just a second. But I thought for today's episode, we could each come up with one or two hobby hot takes and then discuss how hot the hobby hot takes actually are. All right. So without further ado, Will, do you want to start things off here with your hobby hot take?
Yeah, I'd love to. I actually got this. I was inspired by a card porn post where this guy was just showing off a collection of I think Jordan cards, and they're all raw. And it was, they titled they captioned the photo or the video, "Card grading has ruined the hobby." And I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? That's absolutely true. Like I hate the look of these cards inside of the cases. Like, you can't, sometimes there's a glare. You don't really get a good sense of the shine on the cards. There's just so many things that's wrong with it. And then when I really think about it, it's like advertising on the ice rink. It's like advertising on the floorboards at on a basketball court. It's like advertising on the walls of the outfield fences. Why am I what I want to look at is the card. Why do I have to look at this giant plastic slab with this grading company's name on it? And Hyung not being here, he can't rail against PSA and how they always screw him. But it's how do I even trust the grade? And then it's people are fighting over BGS 9.5 versus PSA 10 versus SGC 10, and it's just it makes no sense.
So you want to get rid of them all?
Yeah, so I'm just I'm just out on card grading. I mean, I'm obviously gonna do it. I'm about to submit 30 cards to PSA, but I'm not happy about it. That's the thing. It's that's why I think it's ruined the hobby, because it's become so essential, either because of hobby logic or because we've all agreed that this is something that has to happen and has to exist. And so I'm just we're idiots. We're yeah. I have some raw, I was at the last show that we were at, I picked up a raw Jonas Valanciunas National Treasures RPA. And that was just in a penny sleeve and top loader, and I took it out because the penny sleeve was super dirty. And I was just actually touching the card. I was like, "Oh, this is so nice! This is my childhood, playing with the cards, touching the cards, not flipping through slabs these giant plastic slabs." So I'm out on card grading, except I'm submitting to PSA real soon.
Yeah.
What do you think, Johnny? You out on card grading too?
Purist hot take.
Yeah, he is a purist.
You know what? We all collected back early 90s. So we've all been in and out of the hobby for quite a while. So I understand the point very much. And a couple of guys in our chat group also mentioned it too, how Roy was the one that mentioned how he liked the texture, you kind of, there's a certain shine to some of the rainbow foils or whatever you're looking. He's into Pokemon, so there's a certain shine to certain cards that you can't really see through a case. And especially Pokemon cards have a certain texture to some of the cards, right? So I think I can understand the point. For me, I love grading. As much as we have pain points about each company, I actually love it. And I am, I'm such a... ever since I was a kid, I collected anything, right? Like I collected rocks, seashells, bottle caps, coins. Then when I had money,
He's a hoarder. Wow. Okay.
Like turned into collecting cards and then comics. I don't even read comics. Like every comic I've owned, I pick out the one that is in absolutely perfect condition at the shop, and then immediately it goes into one of those the sleeves, and I take it home, and it's in my collection. I've never read. I don't even know where my comics are. I think I threw them out, which is kind of sad to think about. But I don't think I read I own probably 500 comic books. I don't think I read not one. And whoever's listening to this that's really into comic books, they're probably going to be like, oh my goodness, for shame. But that's the kind of mindset I had when I collected. I loved collecting something knowing it was in pristine condition, or like straight out of a pack, straight into a sleeve, straight into a top loader. So for me, the idea that something is, number one, graded by a so-called professional, we'll call them professionals, and it's encapsulated, like it's forever in a slab. There's no chance of it like wiggling out, or if I drop the mag loader, it's gonna pop in half and the card flies out. I don't really have to touch. Brings me no joy to touch a raw card. It actually makes me really nervous and sweaty. So I'd rather have it encapsulated, knowing that it's like a perfect 10. Like all of that brings me so much more joy. So I'm like totally drinking the grading Kool-Aid.
Okay. Opposite ends of this spectrum here. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just see slabs, or like as a frame almost. You know what I mean? Like a photo, you like to frame it. So I guess I lean more towards John, but I get where Will's coming from. Like
but just imagine if you were to frame your family photos. Okay, so on your mantle above your fireplace, you have these photos of your kids, your families, all that kind of stuff. But the border of every photo frame, it says Walmart or Dollarama or IKEA. Like, it just ruins the look of that photo. Like, that's
that's point taken. Point taken.
Can we go back to this collecting rocks thing that John said? I am so curious. I have so many questions.
Yeah, what kind of rocks do you look for? I was probably what's a PSA 10 rock?
Yeah, I was probably 4 to 10 years old at the most.
Okay.
I remember,
all right,
especially when I was really young. I was collecting, trying to find some cool rocks on the beach. And the first time I was collecting, I found this sort of like jade-looking green one that was nice and round and looked kind of shiny. It was all pretty translucent. And I like ran to my mom. I was so happy. I thought I found like a rare gem. Mom, look at this amazing rock I found. And she's like, drop that right now. It's a piece of glass. I was like, oh, shoot.
Oh, man, that's a good one. All right. Conversation kind of got derailed a little bit, but I expect that when I have John and Will on the same podcast.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I got a hobby hot take. All right, I got a couple, but I'll just say one right now. My first one, the National, which is coming up in July, right? In Chicago this year.
Right.
The National Collectors Convention, which is, i.e., the biggest sports card show in the world currently, will be reduced to half the attendance within 5 years. That's my hobby hot take. And why, you might ask? One word, fanatics. I think fanatics, why couldn't they do their own event? They certainly got the funds, and they got the connections. The National has been going on so long, and not much has changed other than an influx of new hobbyists, new collectors that just came in because of the pandemic. Right. Even now, the venues are the same. They rotate through the same cities, Chicago, Cleveland. I think they had Atlantic City a couple times, right? And, it's one of those things I feel like, if nothing changes moving forward, there will be some company like in Fanatics is perfectly positioned to really take over this space. And I think events it's going to be a big thing, and Fanatics has been taking over everything anyways within this sports card industry. And we also have the Mint Collective. Like, we have other options now rather than just the National. And my initial hobby hot take was, I was going to say the National will become obsolete, but I don't want to go too far, because I know there are like old school collectors. I know people that just like love the vibe of the National, which is, I'm sure pretty cool. I haven't been to it myself. I hope to go soon, but really, if you have newer collectors coming into space, there's no loyalty to the National. Do you know what I mean? Other than what they hear about it or have seen in the past. So, what do you guys think?
Whoa, I never thought of that. I like it. I'm on board with that hot take. I think that is very, very possible, especially with Fanatics. Because we're talking a big company. They have the power, the money, the connections to put on a big show.
Yeah, exactly.
To put on a big show, and that could really, from a branding perspective, that could make the National kind of turn into the grandpa convention, right? Old school, still in a big, dirty, like a dingy airport hangar or wherever it's located at. Whereas Fanatics could be coming out of like the latest and greatest, newest Metro Convention Center or whatnot. So I think I'm on board with that. I think that is very much a possibility. That's a great hot take. May not even count as a hot take. That could be a writing on the wall, to be honest.
Yeah, I was gonna say it feels more like premonition than a hot take,
right?
Just because
that's a good word.
Like innovation, like we were talking about, like all the innovation. I think you guys were talking about it on your last podcast about like how much innovation is gonna just change and transform. And what was it? What's the owner of Fanatics? What's his name?
Michael Rubin.
Yeah, he was like saying a lot of things, and it's just like, yeah, some of these card shows you go to, you're like, oh, like this is born out of the 1980s, like 1970s, like nothing changes. Yeah. And like, we're in like some of these Facebook groups and like Toronto card collector groups, and like the desperate like vendors who are looking for glass cases or extra tables or extra chairs because like the venue organizer or the event organizer just like doesn't have everything ready, doesn't have it like they're just like working from the same playbook every year. They don't innovate, they don't change, they're not introducing like food options, they're not trying to make it better, they're not trying to increase like the Wi-Fi capabilities. It's just like they just go with whatever's already been there. And so yeah, if like a company like Fanatics can come in and just really pump some energy, innovation, I think it's gonna
shake that space up.
There's a good chance.
I think so. I mean, like at the end of the day, like does the National need Fanatics more, or does Fanatics need the National more? Do you know what I mean? Like Fanatics doesn't have to be part of the National. They could just hold their event, right? And if they pull out, the National's gonna be like, oh shoot. They would love to obviously have Fanatics there because they're a huge player in the space now, but
I think you're getting to the biggest hobby hot take, which is this monopoly is no good for any of us. It's Skynet, man. It's gonna take over and it's gonna ruin everything. It just has this monopoly. It's like the Nationals, like, hey, like we want you to come in. It's like, well, we'll just do our own thing. You're gone. You're done.
You know what? That's true. That's a hotter hot take for sure. Yeah. Anyway, that being said, I think there's space for like local card shows. Like you're either going to be with the smaller local card shows, which are going to be, very important, right? Because you can't obviously go to these big events, or you're going to have these few marquee card shows. Then there's only going to be, room for a few of them. To tell you the truth, you can't go to every one. So it's kind of like retail. The mushy middle is going to just kind of disappear. You know what I mean? The big box stores aren't going to be as relevant. All right, John, do you have one or?
Yeah, you know what? No, you go ahead. I think you had another one, right?
Okay, because I feel like this is probably more of a hot take hotter hot take than my fanatics taking over events in sports cards. Beckett will compete head to head with PSA as the number one grading company in the next few years. So, and this is my reasoning. Okay, they got a new CEO this past summer, right? I think May or June. So they got new leadership, which is, I think we all agree that was needed probably. If you look at their website, it's kind of improved. It's not like totally better, but you could check out Pop Report. You don't have to type in 3 passwords to check a Pop Report anymore, and which, the passwords I always forget anyways, so I have to create new ones. Now you can just kind of do a simple query on their website, and it works. It's a little clunky, but it works. They got rid of their paper labels. That was huge. We complained about that. So anything, under BGS 9 got a white paper label, or with those blue ones. I think I just saw an Instagram ad where it cost $10 for you to just replace all your white blue labels for silver ones, right? Or silver metal ones. So, that's a step in the right direction. And more importantly, I think the brand of Beckett is still powerful. Like they've certainly taken a hit during the pandemic, but they still have it. Like people know who Beckett is, people know the brand. And I think with the right leadership in place, with some smart decisions, a little bit of rebranding a bit, I think they can certainly a lot of things have to break right to compete with the likes of PSA in a shorter timeline, but give it a few more years. I think Beckett could resurrect themselves.
Well,
you guys disagree.
That's a real
Silence.
That's a real hot take. I mean, I think I mentioned this about BGS before, in some sort of hot take manner, but I'm generally in agreement that BGS number 1 still has the brand power, and no matter how much they messed up their operations and their brand during the last 2 years during this sort of COVID era, a lot of older cards, big cards, auto cards, you name it, precious metal gems, they are all in BGS holders because that was what was king back in the day. So that sort of premium high-end space, they're still very prevalent. Not to say that people are actually grading them right now, present day. Right. So you may not see a lot of modern cards in BGS slabs, but it's still at the forefront of like big, heavyweight collectors and big cards that you see featured on IG and whatnot. You're always, a lot of times you're seeing BGS slabs. So they are lucky, and I mentioned this before, they are lucky that they still have that. Otherwise, I think they would have been completely ruined. So the new king in town, the new CEO that's trying to right the ship, he's got it somewhat made easy because the brand power still exists. He just has to figure out how to regain consumer confidence, regain users, customers, all of that stuff, which is not an easy task. So, I don't think, as much as I say that stuff, I'm not sure how much I believe it. It is a hot take for sure. But I can see that it is possible. It's going to take some, I don't even know what it's going to take. Honestly, I think the slab has to change. I think a lot of stuff has to change, and they got to hit some real big home runs with like the labels, the slab. I think a lot of things have to change, and they got to hit home runs with all of it. So a lot has to go right. So I'm going to give it a very small chance, but it's there. But yeah, because it's such a small chance, I'm going to say no. But yeah, there's a chance.
That's fine. I'm going to look like a genius in 5 years. That's fine.
I like BGS slabs the least out of the quote unquote big 3. I'm okay. I'll live with PSA slabs just because that's the default. I personally like SGC slabs, the look of it, just because I like minimalism. So I don't want too much flashy, and I just like the tuxedo. It just looks clean. Yeah. But I kind of want your hot take to be true, because it kind of reinforces this idea that across the major graders, it shouldn't matter. Like, it shouldn't matter. Like,
as much as the prices are showing.
Yeah, like the pricing just does not make sense. I don't want to go back to like my whole gripe earlier, but it just doesn't make sense at all that there could be such a disparity between these three graders. Like, if it's, I don't even want to like besmirch the other ones, like the smaller ones. Like, I get it. If you're a smaller grading company, yeah, you don't deserve to be at the price point as these three. But these three, like, it makes no sense. Like,
it's hobby logic for sure.
Yeah.
It's one of those hobby logic things.
So I hope it happens. I don't think for a second it's gonna happen, but I hope it happens.
All right, we'll see. Will, you had another one. We were talking off air. You want to share yours?
I think this one's not like, it's not a great hot take. It's just, I think thick cards are stupid. Like, it makes my life so much more annoying because, you know, I picked up this National Treasures RPA of Jonas Valanciunas. It was raw, and like it was in this dirty penny sleeve and a dirty top loader. Or no, what are those things called? Mag loaders.
Right.
Like, it was all cracked, and so I had to get a new one. And I'm like, man, I have to buy a whole pack of these oversized penny sleeves and a whole pack of these oversized top loaders or like a mag loader. And it's like, usually they're in like packs of 25. And so what am I going to do with the other 24 sleeves? And it's just like, it's so annoying. And then like, you have to figure out which thickness you need because not all the thicknesses of the card are the same. It's
the same, like, right?
Yeah. And then like when I see like breaks of like some of the higher end products, and it's just like, it looks like a brick. Like when I see some of these cards, I'm like, that's not a card. That's stopped being a card a long time ago. That thing is a yoga block. Like, it doesn't make sense. So I'm out on thick cards.
Will's out on thick cards and slabs.
Also,
so
because
we learned that today.
Because I mainly rip like just like flagship, like Series 1, Series 2, like Bowman Chrome, like all those stuff. If I see a thick card, it's a stupid manufactured relic, and I don't want that. So it's just like, I just want to throw it away. So I'm out on thick cards.
Hey, you know what? I'm with you. Like, did you ever see like the one that has cleats as a relic?
Yeah.
That is super thick. Like, that's a block. Yeah, for sure.
Doesn't make sense. Like,
but I when I got back into the hobby, one of the things I bought on eBay, one of the early things, because I just want to get some PC items. I got a double bat relic of Jose Bautista and Edwin Encarnacion. Right?
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, so it's thick, but then like even the thick cards are different thicknesses. You know what I mean? Like, they're not all like standard across the board.
That's what Will's mentioning.
So I bought a like a 25 pack thick top loader, and it was so tight. I got the wrong size. You know what I mean? So I got 25 of one. That doesn't even fit well, and I'm pretty sure I damaged the corner because I was just trying to squeeze the crap out of that card. Good thing it's just a PC, but so annoying. You know what I mean? And then you have to get like the sleeves the right size. Like, I didn't know that. For some reason I thought like, oh, all sleeves will fit, until like the sleeves completely ripped along the side when I was trying to put it in, and so I feel the pain. Will I feel
all right. We're out on them. We're out on the thick.
Have you even seen how the cleats come? It's ridiculous. Like, what's the thickest card? It's like 130 point, or just like the website,
right?
The cleats are like 600 point. It's basically like this legitimate brick with that stuff is so gimmicky. Yeah, I think other than a patch, I'm not into. I don't know. Like, I guess bat is kind of cool, but pieces of a bat, like a button, cleat, that's all like. I get it's game used and it's cool, but you don't need anything beyond game used patches for me.
Right.
Yeah. That's a good one.
All right. those are a few hobby hot takes. You know, we love to hear from our listeners what they think of these hobby hot takes we just shared. And if you have any of your own, let us know. You can reach out to us at Cards to the Moon or at 5cardguys on Instagram, or just email us at hello@5cardguys.com, and we love to share in a future episode. All right, next we're going to introduce a new segment we're calling Sales Report. So I'm going to give you guys a list of 4 or 5 cards, and all you have to do is simply guess how much you think it's sold for recently. All right, and there's a theme for today's segment, which is that all the cards I'm going to give you are from the 2023 Topps Series 1 baseball set, and they're all golden mirror image variation cards.
Very nice.
So very baseball-centric episode today. Oh, and one more hint, I'll give them to you in the order from lowest cost to the highest, so you kind of can guess what the next one is based on the previous one. Okay, so the guys at home listening can't see this, but I'm going to share the screen with my co-host, and they're gonna guess what it's sold for recently. I'll kind of say it for the listeners though, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. But here we go. The first one is the Shohei Ohtani golden mirror image variation. It's where I guess he looks like one of the infielders or outfielders made an astounding play, and he's really happy about it. Right, so
I see.
How much do you think the Shohei Ohtani golden mirror image variation is going for?
Did you say that we're going from lowest price to highest price?
Yes.
Holy!
Oh my
Started
gosh.
with Shohei.
Yep.
I feel like I'm gonna be like terribly wrong on this stuff.
Maybe on the first one, but
Oh, wow! Like I know in hunting, like SSPs of Ohtani, they're just like they're always priced higher than most other SSPs or like photo variations. So I'm genuinely confused. I'm gonna say just a round number of $150. No, that can't be right. $150 just because I love Ohtani.
150. Price is right. 150.
Yeah,
I'm at 150.
I'm just gonna guess what my gut instinct was when you just immediately showed the card. I'm gonna say $100.
100. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure I'm wrong.
The last one. You guys are both wrong.
Yeah.
The last sold, and this could change obviously when more of these come out. They probably might come down to 100, but the one recently sold for $360.
Oh,
Raw.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Raw. These are all raw. Yes, good point.
Oh, so you
All
just
raw.
picked like the cream of the crop for these cards? Because I've seen some like, like Santiago Espinal or like Danny Jansen SSPs sell for like $20. So
Yeah.
okay. So we're starting. Even though this is the lowest price, it's still a higher priced SSP. Got it.
Yes. All right. Here's number 2. All right. Mike Trout. It's golden mirror image variation. It's a picture of him signing autographs on baseballs with fans on the other side of the fence. It's kind of a cool pic.
Right.
I like it.
That's really
So,
nice.
Can we guess how many of those
much?
hands are grown adults?
I feel like there's quite a few actually. There's some hairy arms in there.
John, you go.
Man,
What do you
you're
think?
going from lowest to highest? You're telling me that the Trout is going to be 400 plus? What? Okay, 400.
Well, 360 is the lowest, so that's
Yeah, we'll go
4.
400.
Okay.
Never would have
well,
guessed
I
400,
mean, like-
but
But also, like, this is because it's just on release, right? So people go crazier
yes,
for
exactly.
SSPs.
yes.
So that's a good caveat.
Yeah, I mean, 425. 425.
Okay. The correct answer, Johnny,
$8,000.
$400. So right on the money.
Insane.
Okay, here we go. Next one. Ready? Gunnar Henderson,
Ooh.
Rookie of the Year, AL Rookie of the Year favorite. He's giving high fives to his teammates. I guess he just hit a home run probably
Right.
with a golden chain around his neck.
Ooh,
do you
that's a
think?
good image.
Look at that RC logo just in the top corner.
I like this. Yeah, and it's horizontal too. Horizontal.
I like horizontal. Maybe that should have been my hobby.
Gunnar
hot take.
Henderson.
Whoa, that is a
Actually,
very
that's a good
hot take. Come on.
I like horizontal cards.
Especially in a slab, it ruins it. You know what I mean?
Over
Slab, it's
vertical?
wrong, though.
Yeah.
No, I just
Because-
I like that sometimes there's a break from just horizontal vertical cards. Yeah.
Sure.
I remember. I can't
So-
remember which card I was looking at. But I saw it was in a PSA slab and a BGS slab. So if you look at the horizontal card, the graphics for the actual card, like the name, is vertical, but then the image is horizontal, right? But if you go into
Yeah.
the back, the card is upside down. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So vertical, and it'll
That's
say the
annoying.
name, like let's say Mike Trout. But when you flip the card, it's upside down, and Mike Trout starts from the bottom upwards. So BGS made it upside down on the front because the back is right side up. But then PSA chose the front to be perfectly straight, and then when you flip the
Right.
card, the back is upside down. I remember seeing that card. I was like, "What? Who made this card like that? That is brutal."
Yeah, that's pretty
Anyways, going off on a tangent, back to
Gunnar.
Gunnar Henderson. I'm guessing he is the big chase of all the rookies. Maybe not by a wide margin, but he's
Yeah,
probably one
one
of
of-
the biggest ones. I let's say
One of yeah.
600.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
6.
right there. 600, I think, is I'm just trying to put my brain into like the brain of these crazy people who are bidding on eBay.
Yeah.
And they're like,
600?
Yeah, $600. I would pay 600 for this.
And another caveat
Yeah,
is I
pretty
would not
close.
be guessing these prices if it wasn't for the 360 Ohtani.
Yeah.
Right. I made it easier for you. So, okay.
Yeah, that's a great clue.
Actually sold for $550, so pretty close.
Holy cow.
$550. Yeah. All right, here we go. From one American League Rookie of the Year to the National League Rookie of the Year last year, Michael Harris II.
There's that
And this
one.
is what's that? A Gold Cup. Yeah, and he's swinging a bat
Yeah.
The
with
batting
the
cage.
RC logo in the top left
In the batting cages, yeah.
in the batting cage. Yep.
I'm pretty sure Michael Harris's base rookie is a horizontal card.
Yes, him diving for the. I think
I actually like that one more. There's this card. You're telling me this card is more than 550? I mean,
How is that? What?
let's just say 600. It can't be much more than
Okay, 570.
Gunner's.
Yeah, 575. It can't be more than that much more than Gunner.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it sold for $820. Gold Cup, Michael Harris, Golden Mirror
That
image
is-
variation.
That is wow.
I'm sure. I feel like this is one of those cards that will come down significantly.
Yeah.
But yeah, right off the bat, people are going crazy for Michael Harris.
Who are these people?
You know, he's
Like, don't they learn their lessons after buying Mac Jones Donruss PSA 10s?
all right. Here's the final card for this segment.
Oh my
All
god,
right,
it
you guys
goes
ready?
even higher. I thought we were at the end.
This is the highest for this segment. I don't know if there's anyone higher, but it is a Gold Cup card as well. Horizontal.
Oh,
Nice.
Here we go.
You
Is
guys-
it J-Rod?
you guys have any
I'm
guesses?
guessing J-Rod.
Man.
Here we go.
Oh
J-Rod.
yeah.
J-Rod.
Julio
Look at that.
Rodriguez with the helmet.
Darth Vader helmet?
Yeah, I guess I guess this is what the Mariners do when they get a home run. I feel like the Jays started this kind of
Yeah.
weird kooky thing,
Was
right?
it
With
the
the jacket.
Jays?
And now
No, it wasn't the Jays.
Pretty sure. I feel like it
Really?
was.
maybe
Because
it's
the Jays,
the hometown bias.
The Jays, yeah, the
but-
Jays jacket was this year, right?
No,
No, it
They did
was-
it previous years.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I think it's
At
been
least-
2 seasons. It's been 2 seasons
At
of the
least
home
2
run
seasons.
jacket.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Anyway, he's wearing a Darth Vader helmet and saluting the crowd after hitting a monster home run.
My gosh, hot.
That's
I'm just
crazy. This is
shaking
a
my
second-
head.
It's
at
a
what
second
we're
year.
about to
It's
try
a
to.
second year card.
I know. Holy cow.
Definitely four figures.
Oh my
It's 4? I was going to say like
gonna say,
900.
me too.
at
I was going to
most.
say 900.
No,
I refuse to go to 4
more than that.
figures. That's ridiculous.
You know what? Let's just say 1,200. Some crazy person spent.
Okay, I'll say
1,200.
1,100.
All right. Someone just paid best offer for $18.99.
What?
No way.
Oh man.
No way.
Yeah. You look up Card Ladder, man. Look up eBay sold listings.
Wait, how
Or actually, you had to go to 130 point because it was listed for 2,400, I believe, and then the best offer
how much is the J-Rod rookie SSP with Ichiro raw? That's less than.
It's a good question.
Isn't that like $2,000 in a PSA 10? Or am I off?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, comps mean nothing, John.
Yeah. Holy cow. 18. Oh man, that is ridiculous.
This image isn't even that great. Like, he looks so dumb in that Darth Vader
so
helmet.
Goofy. Yeah.
And also, it's like a little bit inappropriate looking. Like, you can't tell, but Santana's there. Like,
yeah.
Like, you don't notice it at first. Everyone should stop the podcast, pause the podcast, and go look up the card. Like, you don't notice it until you start examining the picture, and you're like, "Wait, what is Santana doing?"
Yeah, he's doing the doing the Leo DiCaprio Titanic. J-Rod.
Except
a reverse Heimlich, reverse Heimlich, kissing the Seattle on his chest.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
This is quite the image.
1899. Wow.
Has anybody figured out the print run on these SSPs?
No
idea.
I'm wondering if the word came out that the print run is like 100, so that's why people are going crazy over these.
I hope Scotty B Cards
does a little video on it.
Maybe I'll shoot him a message, say, "Hey, can you do some sleuthing and find out?"
He's definitely researching it right now. That guy doesn't sleep. He's just like trying to track down all the data right now.
Anyway, that was fun. And this is what makes me excited. I'm gonna buy a jumbo box maybe over the weekend, and I'll rip it in front of a camera so you guys can watch.
Why aren't we doing this together? Just buy me a jumbo box too. I'll rip a jumbo.
Well, you're going on a jumbo? Okay, let's wait till Hyung gets back from his business trip, and then we'll. I'm sure we can all do jumbos, right? That'll be fun.
Yeah. I'm in.
And this is what kind of makes it fun. The SSP chase makes it kind of more fun. I guess you have a better opportunity to get it.
The problem is I hit it in the first hobby box, so it made me think, I could probably hit another one. And then when you look at the pack odds, you're like, oh my god, it's really hard to get these SSPs.
Oh yeah,
but
that's true.
People are always posting like their SSPs that they've hit, and so it makes you think like, these are like gettable. So I'm all messed up. I need one more jumbo to just kick me in the face and be like,
okay,
you idiot.
Well, yeah. We'll pick a day and then we'll just all meet at Integrity headquarters to
Sounds
rip,
good
for sure. Okay, we'll do a sales report segment later on. Different themes, kind of fun. You guys were a little bit off. Actually, you guys were not bad in the early, the cheaper ones, but then it kind of got out of control at the end. That's the more expensive. All right, with that, let's finish off this show with our regular weekly segment we call Pick One. And if you're new to the show, this is when each of us will choose two cards, and then we debate which one we would rather invest in. We usually ask Hyung to start things off, but John, you want to start things off for today?
Let's do it. So I'm going to go with two NBA once studs. If healthy, these guys are considered top 10 in NBA. But they are seldom healthy. They might have a playoff opportunity coming up. So we might be seeing some sort of card bump. So we're going to go 2012 Prizm base PSA 10 Kawhi Leonard versus 2012 Prizm base PSA 10 Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis selling for around $180, $200. And the Kawhi Leonard a bit of a bump up, closer to $300.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Neither is the answer, but if I had to choose one, I am going to go for Anthony Davis.
Oh, wow.
Just because I guess it's really about what do I want to pay the least. If Anthony Davis is going for under 200, the losses will be more minimal than going for Kawhi. And, we always talked about Kawhi, even as he was here in Toronto, his personality, he definitely has zero swag to his game. He just plays. And I guess AD is not that much better. But you know, I think if AD just stays healthy enough, then he's going to be more likely on the highlight reels, in my opinion. You know, I think Kawhi is more integral to the team, and he's a better all around player. But if I'm going for like highlight reels that could, you know, bump up the value of the card even within the short time period of the playoffs, if they make it, you know, past the first round even, I think AD's got a shot to at least generate some profit. Whereas I feel like Kawhi is just going to be even keel, just steady. So AD for me.
Yeah. I am the exact opposite. I'm Kawhi. I think I like that it's a slightly lower pop. I mean, it's not like significant. I actually like the Clippers' chances, even though they're getting Westbrook. Like,
right.
I think that just completely ruined their chances, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know what that happens. Like, I don't know. Like,
another reason why I'm choosing AD.
Can they just send them home?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this isn't working. Let's just send them home. It'll be okay. But I was listening to, I think like one of the Ringer podcasts talking about basketball, and they're just saying like how Kawhi's kind of feeling good. Like he hasn't looked this good in a while. And I feel like what he does is so dynamic. Like, remember when he was with us for the Toronto season, there's this one play where he stole the ball without looking. Like he jumped a pass.
Where he
jumped a bounce pass right. Where he wasn't even looking at the ball getting passed. He just knew that the ball was gonna go there. And so you just see him blindly dive into the way and steal the ball. And it's just like those kinds of highlights are like a forever highlight. AD's highlights are so useless. It's like, oh wow, he dunked the ball, or oh wow, he did a step back jumper. Like, it's just like, I hate AD. I'm not a fan of AD at all. I'm a big man, so I played like in grade 9. Like, I was the biggest guy on my team, so I played as a big man. So I appreciate big men on the court, but AD is just, I hate that player. Like, he's so disappointing. His injuries are so dumb all the time. And like he looked like such a suck when LeBron got that scoring, like when he beat Kareem's scoring total, and like he's like sulking on the bench, and like every time I see AD, I'm never impressed. So I'm going Kawhi, because even if short term I can't make money on it, long term I think Kawhi has a chance to win 3 championships with 3 different cities. That means there's more fans who are interested in his card.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Also, AD sucks.
Listen, that Kawhi, I guess highlight. Only Raptors fans will know that. You know what I mean? Come on. Right, yeah. I think Will's Raptor bias is getting in the way there.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I hate Kawhi because of what happened to DeMar DeRozan, who is who's the hero of my life. So,
Johnny, you gotta break the tie.
I was. I'm now rethinking after all of the points that Will made, because I'm not really an AD fan either. So, like, Kawhi is injured, but I think he is the one that came up with injury management, right? Like, what was the buzzword that was going around?
Load management.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So everyone expects Kawhi. This is kind of who he's become. He is a quasi shell of his former self, but the 55 games you get out of him, he's still going to be as elite as he ever was. AD, on the other hand, is, I think, how Will shares his sentiments about AD is how everybody feels about AD. Like, his is not like Kawhi. It's more like a super annoyance. So like, oh, here we go again. Like, he's made out of cotton candy. Like, he just can't stay, you know. So there's like sort of like a negative, you know, like a label to the way that AD gets injured. And that's why, obviously, to me, why his card prices are a lot lower than Kawhi's. I wanted to pick not pick Kawhi because I know I have a bias. I think if I was legitimately picking these two cards to buy, I'm going to pick Kawhi because of that bias. 80, I will make the point that I do like that if you're going to take a flyer on one of these injured guys, if you're taking a flyer anyways, and these are kind of like quasi low prices, I mean, $180 is a lot less of a risk money wise than $300, right? So there is that too, but I was legitimate going to pick 80, but I'm going to side with Will. He's changed my mind.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
I think 80's injury thing is just going to be too much of a deterrent for people to like him. Not any fault to him, but I think that really goes against his likability, which really is unfortunate. And Kawhi, I don't really think he's got a shot because Westbrook's on that team. But, there's still a percentage. There is a percentage, and if he happens to win 3 championships with 3 different teams, I think his card prices could spike quite considerably versus if 81, I think if 81, it would be all on LeBron. I think 80 would get none of that love. So of the small chances of either one really being like a volatile bump, I'm going to side with Kawhi.
All right. Will's pure hatred for AD swayed Johnny's vote.
Swayed me, and then
it's also
biased.
It's also because AD's attached to LeBron, and we all know how John feels about.
There.
That's true. There
is some of that.
There's the real reason. There it
lie.
is. There it is.
Yeah.
All right, good one. Will, do you want to go next?
Yeah. Okay, so mine is baseball centered. Obviously, this episode's been a little bit more baseball centered, just because it's my favorite sport to collect. 2 MVPs from the same team. We have the 2011 Topps Update Mike Trout in BGS 10 grade. It's a pop of 228 versus the 2018 Topps Chrome Sapphire of Shohei Ohtani in a PSA 10, pop 105. They both have a recent sale of $2,300 US. Which one do you pick?
Yep. I am going with the card that I once owned. And it's the Shohei Ohtani Topps Chrome Sapphire. For me, it's really simple. It's really easy. I think the Mike Trout, and we mentioned this before, I personally believe there's a little bit more to come down on the Mike Trout update. It's going to kind of fall into that base, boring, it is all-time iconic, but is it special? Is it different? Is it numbered? It's not. It is a BGS 10, which does differentiate it a lot versus like a PSA 10 or a BGS 9.5. But I don't think it's enough at that price. If we're talking, give me $2,300 cash and I'm going to pick one. Yeah, it's the Shohei Ohtani 100 pop. Still a pretty special card. If you wanted a special card of Shohei, it's only 100 pop. I think it's really good value.
I'm gonna go with Shohei as well. I don't know if it's the way the market is right now, but I'm done with base. Like that bubble's popped, and it is an iconic card, just like Johnny said. But you're really, I feel like the value for that card that Will mentioned is the premium is in the BGS 10 grade. And I hate buying it for the grade, buy the card over the grade. You could argue that people buy PSA 10 cards because of the grade, but BGS 10, there's an extra premium added on to it, which makes it $2,300 for a base card.
I feel like now we know what Will's answer is going to be.
So, yes. Yeah, we do know, but so yeah, for that reason, I'm going with the Shohei Ohtani Sapphire PSA 10. Well, just
exactly. That is exactly my point in this pick one. That was the biggest thing that I saw. Like, how am I going to pay this much extra just for it to say BGS 10 when that has nothing to do with the card itself? You know what I'll do? I'll buy, so obviously I'm picking the Ohtani. And then like the Trout update, like I'll just pick it up in like a SGC 10. I'll even pick it up in a HGA 9.5, like whatever, like whatever. Like I can't believe some of the color combos that people come up with. But I'll even pick it up in an HGA 9.5 because that card is so special. Like it's so iconic. It is Mike Trout, who is going to be the GOAT of GOAT, like one of the GOATs of baseball. But I'm not, like you said, Clark, I'm not paying $1,000 extra or whatever. Like what does a PSA 10 Mike Trout go for? I didn't even think to look. It's like
15 probably.
Yeah, like I'm not going to pay. And then so an SGC 10 is going to be even cheaper. I'm not going to pay all that extra money just for it to say BGS 10. I hate this upcharge on BGS 10. Like I don't get it. Like 9.5 to 10, like who is deciding that? Like how did they decide it? Like it's just
so it is
still on my I'm still on my hobby hot take. Card grading.
That's the one thing Will just wanted to say throughout this whole episode.
I'll agree with Will there, though.
Card grading.
I hate upcharging. I think it's like a lot of it is nonsense, to be honest. Yeah, like I think I can understand it, but anyways, we're about to go on a tangent, so I'm not going to go there. But we'll say that.
This episode will never end.
Yeah.
All right, let me get my 1v1 out of the way, and then we could talk about upcharging after we finish recording this episode. All right, here's my... I was going to actually do this last week, or last episode, but then we used a listener submission, so I saved this one for this week. On one side, you got Bichette, 2016 Bowman Chrome Draft Refractor autograph. So his first Bowman Refractor, numbered to 499 that year. BGS 9.5 Auto 10, so Gem Mint Auto 10. And then on the other side, you got the 2018 Bowman of Lewis Robert, our buddy Lewis Robert. His is also a refractor, numbered to 499, and also the same grade, BGS 9.5 Gem Mint Autograph 10. And they both sold for around $550, $560. Which one are you going for?
Oh boy. I am going to, I'm going to quadruple down and pick Luis Robert once again.
What?
Yes, I am.
Wow.
I have yet to fully give up on Luis Robert.
I can't quit you.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just don't think he's had a fair shake in the hobby space yet. And I think he's got a lot of ceiling to show. And I'm hoping it's this year. If we're being honest, I really think this is it for Luis Robert in terms of acceptance and hobby love. I think there's a lot of people still collecting and buying Luis Robert, secretly not admitting it,
right?
Either on Instagram, on social media. But I think there are a lot of closet buyers of Luis Robert because the prospect, the potential is still tantalizing. He's been injured. So it's been one of these things where like he really hasn't had a full opportunity to show himself off, right? So I think people are still kind of hoping on that. I certainly am. I'm one of those people, but I am on the boat of, I think this is the last year for me to see something. And I'm sure a lot of people who are collecting Luis Robert, if they are going to give him one more chance, I think this is the year. So I'm a little cautious about taking this pick, but it's a bit of a risk, and I'm willing to take the gamble because Bichette he's been murdering the ball for the last 3 seasons, like hits leader or always in the top. Like he's just been doing stupid things, and his card price is just slowly goes down. He's just one of these players that's going to be kind of Robin to Vladdy's Batman, which is unfortunate. I think I personally love Bichette, but I just don't see his card value being all that volatile because he's already been doing special stuff. It's just how much more crazy can he be? And I don't see him hitting 60 home runs to get really that noticed. So I think Luis Robert is the one of the two for the card prices to go back up to $1,000, to go to $1,500. I think he's got that chance. It's way more of a risk because I think by the end of the year, this card could be worth $200, and I think Bo Bichette will probably stay at $500-$600, right? So I'm gonna take that risk. I'm gonna go Luis Robert one last time.
Okay, one last time. Will.
So for kind of similar reasons, I'm also with Luis Robert, which is crazy because we're three Toronto guys and we're not gonna like so far we haven't picked Bo. I think Bo's Bowman Chrome card is so ugly. Like if you like, I'm part of like the Bo Bichette Facebook, like a sports cards collector Facebook group, Luis Roberts, Vladdy's, and the Bo Bichette one. It's amazing because the cards that Bo has, they're so beautiful.
He's got great cards.
He is always featured like as the most beautiful man on the earth. Like his hair is always flowing perfectly.
Bo flows.
Yeah, right. Like all his cards, like especially his variation cards, I'm impressed by. And then I look at this Bowman Chrome card and it looks so awful. It looks like someone like photoshopped his hair, like gave him like this Karen haircut. Like it's just like
totally. Yeah, like totally.
Like he's very like, I don't know, objectively like a good looking dude, and he wears tight fitted clothes. Like he's, you know, if you look at some of his other variations, he's always like in a cutoff. Oh, by the way, you guys see the Matt Chapman SSP from this year? He's just like,
yeah, you could see his guns.
Yeah. He's just in a cutoff shirt. But anyway, like, and then like the way they Photoshop that picture, it's like he's wearing this baggy Blue Jays jersey. It looks like, I don't know. It looks like
it just don't like it.
I just don't like it. And so, so I lean away from that card. But there has been a little uptick in Bo's card. I have noticed like he's getting a little bit more love, Johnny, than what we remember. Especially the last couple of years, he's just been kind of stagnant. But recently, he's been getting a little bit more love. His cards are slowly climbing. But like you said, Luis Robert, that card should be worth more. Like there's a chance that card will just jump, because everyone's waiting and hoping for a good season. So I'm with you. I'm going to put my money into that Luis Robert, even though it's the bigger risk, because there's a bigger payoff there. And there's so many other Bo Bichette cards I would much rather have. So
you guys are gamblers. Wow, okay. Okay, I respect it. Well, yeah, I'm surprised too. We got the Blue Jays fans here, and we're not going for the hometown bias, right? But you know what? I am going to go and choose Bo Bichette. I think this year he's going to come out of the shadow a little bit of Vladdy. You know, by the way, I love Vladdy's. Like, if he could get his cards on the cheap, I think this year you can really.
Vladdy's looking good. He slipped down a little bit. Like,
love it.
Are we back on Slim Vladdy again?
and then like these fences that they've built for the Sky, or what are we calling it now? Rogers Center.
Yeah.
Forever Skydome. Like it's just like it's gonna be his ballpark to just mash.
Made it for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, but I think, you know what, that's also going to benefit Bo, right? So I think he's going to have more power than Luis Robert this year, actually. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I agree with what you guys said, though. Like, if you're going for Luis, you're swinging for the fences. You could see he has a higher ceiling in terms of hobby value than Bo Bichette does. Like, I absolutely agree. The volatility is there for Luis Robert, more so than Bo Bichette. But I like Bo's floor. And I like that. I think he's going to take the next step. You know, I think skill-wise, he could take the next step. I was just looking at some composite projections, and you know, maybe everyone's a little bit scared off by Luis Robert's injury, so they're projecting him to hit just over 20 homers. You know, he could easily probably double that if he wanted to, if he was completely healthy. But you know, you got to be cautious, I guess. With 15, 16 stolen bases, compared to Bo Bichette, same number of stolen bases. Very similar in average, but projected to hit 26, 27 homers. And he could probably hit it over 30 if he got a few lucky breaks.
Yeah.
So and you know what? I've also noticed the same thing. Will, like I'm trying to get back into Bo Bichette. You know, I actually sold you were there, Will, right? When I traded my Bo Bichette and my Luis Robert. So I had both these cards for my Aaron Judge, who happened to hit 60 plus home runs. So that worked out for me. But I'm trying to get back into Bo Bichette more so than I'm trying to get back into Luis Robert, because I just think it's obviously less risk. And the tiebreaker for me, I guess, is because I'm a Blue Jays fan too. So I'm trying to get actually like a color refractor of Bo Bichette's first Bowman. And you know, one more thing I'll agree with you guys on, or Will specifically, the Bowman Chrome image is awful. It is awful.
I agree too.
It's
Fernando Tatis.
It's right up there with Bobby Witt Jr. and Juan Soto.
T-ball Soto.
Juan Soto. Yeah. And Fernando Tatis.
Tatis.
Bowman Chrome first autos, they have a history of having just horrible images. But guess what? It doesn't matter because it's their first Bowman Chrome autograph. It'll always have value, right? So that's why I love this card, because it'll always have a good value over the long run if they play well. So I guess I'm going to be the homer in this case. I'm going to go for Bo Bichette.
Yeah. Good choice. I mean, I'm definitely investing more money into Bo this year than I am Luis Robert. So, but I'm looking more for some of his other stuff, like the Topps Chrome stuff, like color variations.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely looking at those, because also like the short field, it makes a difference for Bo as well, because he's got a lot of pop and he hits a lot oppo.
Absolutely.
And that right field fence is coming in. And,
is that too, really?
Yeah, I believe so. And then, like, he's the hits leader for the last 2 years. Yeah. And they just banned the shift. And he sprays. He's an inside-out swing. So he's I think he's going to have such a great season. But that's also the homer and me coming out. Like, I fully think we're winning the World Series this year. So.
Hey, are the odds makers like the Jays, so
it's like a 30-year anniversary from our last championship. So.
Perfect timing. Perfect timing. It's destiny.
Yeah.
Go Jays, go. All right. Will, first off, thanks again for joining us, and talking all this baseball talk. We got to go to a Jays game and maybe rip a few packs, and maybe that'll be a new tradition for us. I think we should start that.
Hey, if Fanatic starts putting those card packs into the stadiums, I'm down.
Oh, yeah, there you go. So thanks, Will, for joining us, and thank you for all our listeners for coming on, for listening to the show. We have our shows every Tuesday and every other Friday, a shorter episode on every other Friday. So, and if you enjoyed this episode, we appreciate you giving us 5 stars. And we'll see you guys again soon. Bye. Hey, thanks for listening to Cards to the Moon. We'd really appreciate you subscribing to our podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. And you can also connect with each of us on Instagram at 5cardguys, or you can follow Hyung at Integrity Sports Cards, or John at TradeU at Recess. You can also check us out at 5cardguys.com. Thanks again, and hope to connect soon.